friends. So it's a rainy day outside, it's very cold, and I haven't made a video in a really long time. So I thought that I would finally do something that I've needed to do for quite a long time, which is make something from my World of Warcraft cookbook. I've had it for a year and I've never used it. So I'm going to make Westfall stew, which is a fairly complicated sounding stew, and the ingredients are very expensive. So I figured that I may as well document it, because if I fail, the views, and if I succeed, I need to document it for history. I'm messing with this cutting board. So the first thing I have to do is actually prep all of these ingredients, which is really annoying. So we're just gonna chop some stuff. So normally I just wouldn't put mushrooms in at all because I don't like them, but I'm trying to do this for real. So I have to cut are some carrots, and probably a normal person would peel them. And I know there's a peeler in this house somewhere because I've used it before to peel carrots for soup, but I can't find it. So I don't know, we're just gonna have gross carrots, I guess. Gross unpeeled carrots. Now the next thing I need to cut is this bacon. And there's a dog sitting on my foot. He's helping. It's very helpful. This is probably an unsafe way to open this package. And I don't really care because, you know, remember that was a thing that people were saying? Now people don't say that anymore unless they're trying to be funny. I mean, like, in an ironic way. Bacon. The next step is something that no sane, lazy person would ever actually do. But I decided when I started this that I was gonna do this properly, so I'm gonna do it. And the instruction is to toss the stew meat with salt and let it sit for 30 minutes. I don't know what that does, but that's part of the instructions, so I'm gonna do it. And because I'm a monster, I'm just gonna stick my hands in here and just toss it around. Because when I see the word toss, I don't think use a spoon. I think use my grubby little meat paws. Now the instructions say to use a baking pan with tall sides. And I think this is for like turkeys and stuff. But I feel like this would do the job for stew. So let me use this. And I'm gonna read the recipe again. Here's an important step I could have done a while ago. Preheat the oven to 475. Did it, definitely in the time frame that this recipe intended. Now the next thing is to put some butter in the pan and put the bacon in there. Hey, after double checking, I have confirmed that by some butter, I meant 1 tablespoon of butter. So I'm gonna take a tablespoon, toss it in there. Okay, the next step says to toss the mushrooms and pearl onions on a baking sheet with another tablespoon of butter and cook that for 15 minutes while the bacon is cooking for 15 minutes. So we'll put this aside and prepare these vegetables. Here's another step I forgot during my prep. I was supposed to peel the pearl onions. I was like, oh, you don't even have to cut them. They're all good to go. They're not, you have to peel them. Stupid. So because I'm an idiot, I got 1 thing of pearl onions and 1 thing of boiler onions. So it's just, you know, just crushing the onion thing. It's because I hate onions, so, you know, I'm not really that dedicated. So it's the most boring thing I've ever done in my lifetime. Why do people ever cook with pearl onions? I thought that they were going to be a better version of their big version. but they're just as annoying. Is this a tiny onion or is it a regular sized onion and I'm just a giant? No one will ever know. Don't look at the other scale items around me. We'll never know. So we're gonna put them on the baking machine. And we're gonna put more butter on because everyone loves butter. I missed an important step where I was also supposed to add some brown sugar to those vegetables, so I'm gonna do that. Nailed it first try. Okay, I pretty much can't do anything until that's done, but I'm gonna add stuff after this, so I think I'll measure everything out and then I'll be ready like we're on a cooking show. So I'm gonna do that. But I need to read the recipe, which is on my phone, so I'm just gonna measure everything out, and then when I turn the camera back on, it'll be done because I'm a professional. Okay, goodbye. So here's a fun thing I forgot about. This book has like blends of spices in it, and so in the recipe it'll be like Northern Spices, page 20, and you're supposed to just have put together all these spices, and I didn't do that. So I'm looking at Northern Spices. 1 tablespoon cardamom, don't have that. 1 tablespoon dried juniper berries, definitely don't have that. 1 teaspoon smoked salt. I got salt, pepper, I can do that, ginger, allspice, or nutmeg. Since I don't have cardamom, I'm just going to do allspice and nutmeg. Even though I think that allspice just has nutmeg in it. I don't know. So both of these things seem like burned-ish. Bacon looks okay. Okay, this is burned. I think the sugar just burned because the butter didn't really spread around. So that's that. I've got a whisk, and I've got the flour, and I've got the wine in a mug that says, "Hey there, hot stuff." So we're gonna put in the flour. It's supposed to all mix up with the bacon fat until you can't see the flour anymore. So let's just I'm spilling wine everywhere because this was not meant for pouring. And I gotta be careful not to grab the pan because it's hot, even if it's about to fall, because, you know, you're a dumb idiot. Okay. Mix in wine, flour, bacon fat. Honestly, it doesn't look like the worst thing. I think maybe it's correct. Don't do what I did. You were supposed to just put in the flour without the wine first. Then you were going to put in the wine, which is fine. It's alright. I'm supposed to put in 4 cups of beef broth. And one of these cartons is supposed to be exactly 4 cups, so I didn't pre-measure it. Just going to pour it in. And you're supposed to put in the spices. Which I definitely have the correct amount of all the things that were supposed to be in here. Mix that up. Alright, what's next? The next thing I'm going to do is put in all the other stuff. Oh, I didn't really include that in my directions, but it's a cup of pearled barley. Fresh parsley, but I don't really do that, and it's only 1 tablespoon, so I'm just going to put in the fake stuff. And now I add the meat. So I'm going to stick my gross meat paws in here again and do that part. Like I'm not doing the worst job in the world. Okay, now it says to put it back in the oven, but I'm supposed to turn it down to 325, I think. Okay, I lied. The last thing you're supposed to do before you put it back in the oven is put in enough water to cover the meat, just barely. That was like 3 cups. So anyway, I'm gonna put this in the oven. It's up for like 2 hours. It's 9:30 right now. Obviously I don't plan to get it at dinner hour. So I'm gonna put this in the oven at 325 for 2 hours. And I'm gonna clean up the kitchen. My other thought is because these are, you know, like burnt and stuck to the pan, I might like toss them around with some oil or something so they're not horrific. Now, I'm not saying that this is my drunk kitchen. I'm not trying to be a copycat, alright? But, I mean, it's not unreasonable to drink some wine whilst cooking. And I got this one because it's called Cote des Roses. And it's got a rose on the top. And the bottom looks like a rose. So I bought it solely for that reason. Don't know if it tastes good. It is from Sausalito. It's not French. I don't know if this is even intended to be used as a cup, but I'm putting wine in it. It's okay. The bottle is prettier than the wine tastes. So it turns out all you do after the 2 hours is stir it and put it back in for another hour. But honestly, this looks pretty bomb. Alright, see you in an hour. So now we add the onions and mushrooms that we made earlier. Alright, we're gonna mix that up. And then lastly, we add the rest of the red wine from before. Should be about a cup. I feel like maybe there's not enough liquid in here, so I think I'm gonna add a little bit of water. So now that's done, we put it back in for 30 minutes. Okay, it is finished. Clearly this is too hot to eat right now, so I'm gonna let that cool up and then I will give you my verdict. And if you're concerned about why I've changed and I'm no longer wearing my glasses, I have not deceived you. It is the same day, but I went and took a bath. And if you have a problem with that, you can eat some stew because we're friends. Okay, moment of truth. It's hot. I did something and it was big. I created art here today and the ingredients may have cost me half of my bank account and it may have taken 5 hours. I'm finally eating at 2 a.m. but it was worth it. This is so good. Thank you for going on this journey with me, and I'm really sorry that you can't eat this. I wouldn't recommend making it. It's too much work. Don't do it, but it's really good. Okay, that's the end of this. Goodbye.